is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Double G Gaming, and I was planning on releasing this one a little bit later, but oh my god, that Raw from this past week was just so damn bad for it being 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. I mean, what the hell are they thinking? Obviously, people are already going to be subscribed to the network. I get that. People are going to be watching it on YouTube, talking about it on Twitter. I get all that, right? I get that they have your attention for WrestleMania. But why not do something creative, something more than you've been doing than the past couple of weeks, past couple of months, past couple of years? The same old shit, the same matches, the same storylines, no creativity. They could be getting so many more viewers for WrestleMania, bringing people back that have left because of how bad it is or how uninterested they were. They could be getting people back, getting people to join, subscribe to the network, watch the show, but instead, they decide to just rest on their laurels and just continue to put out this crap of a product. I mean, if you're with me still right now, go to my Twitter. You can follow me or not. I don't really care if you do, but join the Boycott Raw movement that I'm starting again for next week. I mean, can you believe this? The Boycott Raw movement started back. It's been around for a long ass time, but the last time I remember it really being like big again was around that whole November 26th, and the reason I remember that date is because it was such a bad, terrible show that it got ingrained into my head that date, right? But anyway, around that time, around TLC was when Boycott Raw started again, and you were like, okay, they're doing a little bit of change around the Royal Rumble. You know, Becky Lynch winning the Rumble, Seth winning the Rumble. You thought he was gonna get the Universal Championship. Um, I don't know what else they were doing. Probably still having rematches, but anyway, you thought there was going to be a little bit of something there. A couple weeks ago, I don't know if it was before Fastlane or it might have been, but they had that one Raw where the entire night it was just entertaining. They had Becky Lynch come out, attack everybody with a crutch. Batista returned. Roman Reigns came back, reunited the Shield. Seth Rollins looked like he was unstoppable. Drew McIntyre, I don't know what he was doing, but you know what? Like everything has just fallen downhill. They can't continue anything. So I guess I'll talk a little bit about Raw since I wanted to do a podcast, but I wanted to get that out right now. Like just boycott Raw, spread the movement. You can watch SmackDown. You can watch stuff on YouTube. Follow stuff on Twitter. I get that WWE. You're watching WWE because you want it to be good, right? So if you follow it or keep up with it, that's up to you. But don't watch Raw this week. Give them horrible ratings for their freaking go home show. Show them how much you really don't care to watch this stuff if they're going to keep giving you redundant, stupid, nonsensical BS. Crap storylines, same old matches, same stuff. Just show them that you're not going to watch this stuff live. That should send, a little bit of a kick in their ass as it did back in TLC. I mean, back then, you guys were like, oh, it's probably not going to do anything, but it kind of did change a little bit. You saw some kind of changes, right? So now, if we do that for the go home show for Raw, that should send a bigger message, right? Hopefully. Uh, you never know with this company because they say they listen to their fans all the time, but we all know that's a load of crap. I don't know what other company in the world would get so much feedback from their fans but ignore them. Even like a sports company, a sports league, if they get shit from their fans, they're gonna try to correct it. A restaurant, if they get shit compliments or shit reviews, for the most part, they're gonna try to fix it, try to do what's best for business, right? Please the fans. And I'm not saying you have to give us everything that we want. Back in the Attitude Era, I'm pretty sure Stone Cold Steve Austin didn't win every title. He didn't win every match. The Rock didn't. Uh, the Rock didn't come out and deliver a great promo every single time. But you told storylines to get us through those moments where our favorites weren't on top, and you told a really good story. I don't understand how it's gotten so bad. I mean, it's happened since 2014, and it's just gotten so bad ever since. Um, I have a good memory with this whole. I started watching it in '08, but just by looking back in the network and on YouTube and stuff like that, I kind of remember most things about wrestling. I don't know what it is, but I remember these things. And besides like that low period in like in the 90s when Hogan and all of them left, and when it was like Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels as the two top guys and Diesel, besides that period of time, I don't remember any other period of wrestling of WWE since WrestleMania in the WrestleMania era that has been so terribly bad. And even that period from 93 to 97, was it? 93, 96? You still had like decent storylines. You had Bret Hart doing his thing, Shawn Michaels doing his thing. Even though that was like terrible, it was still for that time. Like I could see why they were booking that type of show around that time. Um, but now we've gotten so much smarter, and we demand so much more that it befuddles my mind why they don't do better. So even like when they turn like even as a PG product, NXT is good. SmackDown is decent. What is going on with Raw? They have so much talent and they don't know how to use it. How to use them. You're telling me we have to see these same old rematches with the same top stars? Stop giving us these same top stars in the matches against each other. Save them for pay-per-views. You know what I mean? Like as much as we hate Bobby Lashley or I don't even know who else we hate that much because Baron Corbin, as much as he is in the main event, he's not a top star. So I wouldn't even say him. But as much as you hate Bobby Lashley, or I'll even throw Roman Reigns in there, as much as you hate those two guys, or have hated or whatever, if you tell me that Bobby Lashley and Finn Balor never touched before until WrestleMania, and we're gonna see the Demon versus Lashley, I'm all in. If you told me that Drew and Roman have never touched before, now I'm a little bit intrigued into this match because I don't know. This could go either way. This is like one of those Roman matches where I'm like, what the hell are they gonna do here? But anyway, if you told me Drew and Roman have never touched before, and even with just a last week's build, I would be more interested into the match at WrestleMania between both of them. It's the little things that they don't get right anymore. Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, we've seen so many times. Drew McIntyre versus Dean Ambrose, we've seen so many times. Lashley versus Finn Balor, we've seen so many times in one way or another. It's just so ridiculous. Makes absolutely no sense why they continue to do this stuff. And then the hottest feuds that you think are going to be so good end up being so terrible. Like like Ronda Rousey, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, right? Around TLC, even at Survivor Series when Becky Lynch went down, you were like, all right, this should be, Becky Lynch is not going to get the match here against Ronda Rousey. So maybe this could be at WrestleMania potentially. You had that hope. TLC, they dropped the title from Becky. You were even more hyped. You were like, oh crap, she can win the Rumble, face Ronda at WrestleMania. Then she wins the Rumble, but she looks stupid and tapping out to Asuka earlier in the night. So that's already like a weakness into Becky Lynch. Then she gets that freaking limp, which all of a sudden on Raw she just dropped. So what was the point of her having it? And like I said, if a 100% Becky Lynch could not beat Asuka, why were they doing a injury angle with Becky Lynch going into WrestleMania to face Ronda Rousey? So a less than 100% Becky Lynch, we would think was going to beat her. That didn't make any sense. So then they add Charlotte to it. Okay, I have my problems with that. The best booked feud on the card right now, I would say it has to be Kofi and Daniel Bryan, right? I mean, what other match has you intrigued from the beginning all the way to right now as I'm talking? on March 26th at 12:45 p.m. What other match has you this interested? Even AJ versus Orton, they didn't even follow up on that last week. It had a good start with the promo battle between them, and then they didn't do anything the week after. McIntyre versus Roman, it started off all right. They completely did the same thing, same attack the following week, which was this past Raw. Terrible. Kurt Angle versus Baron Corbin, they haven't even touched, or they haven't even been in the same vicinity as each other in the last couple of weeks since Angle has announced this retirement tour. Shane and Miz is probably another one that's all right so far. They haven't really messed it up. Even though nobody really cared to see this match in the first place, they haven't messed it up. But I won't give it to them because, like I said, nobody wanted to see it in the first place. U.S. Championship, Samoa Joe and Rey Mysterio. If it was Samoa Joe versus John Cena, a lot better. If it was Andrade versus Rey Mysterio, it would be a lot better. But why Samoa Joe and Rey? Makes no sense. And they didn't do anything last week to further the storyline. Now, hopefully tonight on SmackDown, since they do have an extra hour or an extra 40 minutes to book, they'll do something interesting there with Joe and Rey. Uh, since they couldn't do anything with the whole gauntlet match last week. So, whatever there. Uh, Women's tag team match. Why does Nia Jax and Tamina get another shot? They lost at the Chamber. They lost at Fastlane. No, I thought no more rematches, right? I thought what happened to that? No more rematches for titles. And they didn't even have the championships. So why are they getting another shot at the titles? And then you throw in Beth Phoenix and Natalya, who I'm guessing they couldn't get Trish and Lita on board, so they had to go with the next worst thing. I was gonna say next best thing, but then, in all seriousness, who wants to see Natalya and Beth Phoenix go for the tag team championships in 2019? I would be fine if it was just Sasha and Bayley versus the Iconics. From the get go, I didn't want to see tag team titles for the women in the first place. They don't know how to book the men tag teams, so what made us believe that they were going to be able to book the women tag teams? And as we've seen, they can't, and they don't know how to. Triple H and Batista, like I said from a couple weeks ago on Raw, they started off hot. Batista came back, attacked Ric Flair. We were like, all right, this could be a good, this could be a good build or feud leading up to WrestleMania. I don't have any hopes for that match, even if it is a no holds barred and both their careers are on the line. That match is not going to be. It could be entertaining because it is no holds barred, but it's not going to be a match that I'm looking forward to. They're just. We've seen it before. Actually, we haven't. It has been a while, but they are older. So, like, what can they really do now? You know what I mean? Like, Triple H got injured in his last match. What if he gets injured again in this one? Hope he doesn't, but I'm saying, like, what happens? That match is just going to go downhill. SmackDown Women's Championship, or Women's Champion, Asuka, hasn't been booked strong or at all sometimes on SmackDown. So, and we don't even know who she's going to face at WrestleMania. The Raw, SmackDown Championships, we don't know who's going to face them at WrestleMania either. And to be honest, if those three titles were left off the show, maybe just have the SmackDown Tag Team titles between Usos and Hardys. I could get behind that. But if those three belts, both tag titles and the Women's Championship, were not defended, I would be fine with it. Why? Why do we need those extra matches on the card if they're not going to mean anything? The Universal Championship, as well, like, they have done. I didn't think they could get any worse than what they did with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns last year. Trying to get sympathy for Roman Reigns, but they've somehow done it with Rollins. Now, obviously, you still want somebody to take the belt off of Brock Lesnar, but the way that they've built this match, it's just so god awful. You have Brock Lesnar come to Chicago, and they don't even touch. These guys have been in the same since the Royal Rumble. They have been on the same show, I think, twice in 3 months. How does that make any sense? and it'll probably just be, yeah, 3 shows to build their match, that they are going to be on the same show together on the build to their WrestleMania match. Like, and if you were 100% sure that Seth Rollins was going to win the Universal Championship, you'd be like, all right, I don't care what the feud is, just get me to that match so that Rollins can beat Lesnar. But you're not 100% sure. For all we know, Brock Lesnar has been, ever since Roman Reigns came back, you could be like, oh, Vince probably had a change of heart, like he always does nowadays. I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. Uh, but change of heart. He's like, you know what? Roman Reigns came back. You know what? Keep the championship on Brock Lesnar, and we'll have Roman Reigns win it at the next Saudi show or at SummerSlam. Why? You're keeping the damn belt off of Raw for what? To build Lesnar for Reigns again? And people are gonna. Here's the thing that I've kind of noticed with Roman Reigns now in the last couple of weeks. Now I said I was gonna give him a second chance, and I kind of am. It's like I said, I'm interested in the match that they're gonna have with Drew McIntyre and him at Mania, just for the pure fact of who is gonna win. Um, for the most likely it's gonna be Roman, but I want to see how they continue it afterwards. They probably won't do shit with it, but still, I'm interested. Right? Second chance, whatever. I'm still not gonna be cheering the guy because I didn't like him before, and for the most part, he's still better on the mic, whatever, because he's probably just saying what he feels now. They're not really scripting him that much. But his in-ring skills is not up there. You know, like he does the same punch, kick, clothesline, Superman punch, spear, repeat every single match. Not that there's anything wrong with that, because John Cena does the same thing and he still puts on good matches. Same with Randy Orton, Triple H. But there's something about Roman who is just not there. It doesn't click with me. But anyway, what was I saying? Like, I don't even know what the hell I was getting. Oh, what I've noticed with Roman Reigns now is the females and the kids are cheering him, and the males are not really making any noise because they don't want to cause any uh they don't want to make any noise. Or what am I trying to say here? They're not really trying to boo him, but they don't want to cheer him because they're not fans of him, right? This is kind of the worst case scenario that you could have with a superstar now. Because before you could say, all right, he's getting noise, even though I hate that argument. He's getting some noise. They're booing him, but they're making noise for Roman. Now, if the male audience overpowers if there are more male adult males in the audience than females and children, he's not gonna get any reaction now because men are not going to cheer him because they've hated him for so long before, but they don't want to boo him because they don't want to, cause any trouble with people maybe sitting next to them and be like, "What the hell are you booing him for?" You know, they don't want to cause any trouble with that, so they're just not going to do. They're not going to make any noise, and that could be worst possible case scenario for Roman Reigns now. Um, and now we can finally get what we wanted: no noise for Roman when he comes out. And as soon as if he gets a championship match in the main event, uh, you know, fans could turn quickly if the storyline feud match is not there to tell a captivating story or whatever. So yeah, what the hell even happened on Raw last night? Just a bunch of rematches. I was gonna go over Raw, but I kind of just went over the card for Mania. Yeah, I mean, nothing really happened on Raw, like I said. That's why you're not missing anything if you don't watch it live. I'm telling you, boycott Raw, spread the movement, follow me on Twitter or not. Just go boycott Raw on Twitter, spread it out. Kurt Angle looking rough out there. Triple H. The best part was probably Triple H, his promo, and even then, that wasn't really. It was just him talking like he always does, going on for way too long. He kept it short, but it still felt like way too long because it was just him talking to himself, talking to Batista, whatever. It was just a whole big thing. I mean, I enjoyed some of it, and that was probably the best part for me of Raw. And even still, like, it didn't. It was just the same old shit. the same. Do something creative with these feuds. Go outside of the arena. Why couldn't they have I'm stealing this from somebody from BC Amplified, so if you want to go to his channel and check this out where I got it. He said, why didn't they you know how Brock Lesnar isn't showing up and you can't really do much with that feud since Brock isn't there? Why not after the show of Chicago film something in the backstage area in the parking lot, have a brawl, and then have it and then play it on tonight's Raw to say to further that storyline, get us intrigued. Do stop doing the same old repetitive stuff in the ring because it's getting old. Drew McIntyre attacking the Shield members. That how many times can you watch that? Last week it was all right. This week not so much. Everybody's just attacking each other on Raw, and you're building these feuds after interference in matches. Isn't that what happened? I didn't watch the show last night. I mean, I watched parts of it. I didn't watch the entire show all the way through. Um, but didn't that happen in the Sasha Banks Natalia match? Nia Jackson Tamina came out, and then that's how they're getting into this match at WrestleMania. You're supposed to be building feuds because this is pro wrestling. Like you can do whatever the hell you want, right? But why not do something more intriguing? Have Nia Jackson Tamina attack Sasha Banks at a restaurant, at a hotel, something like that to get them more heat and not just, oh, I interfered in your match against freaking Natalia. Who cares? Who cares if you interfered in that match? Now, if you like attacked me while I was at home washing my car or feeding my dog, then I would care. I want you at WrestleMania. Why would you do that? Why would you attack me at my home? Right? They're not doing these type of things anymore, and that's really what the downfall is. Because you're seeing the same old repetitive storyline feud play out. It's I'm gonna attack you after the match, or I'm gonna cost you your match, and then we're gonna have a match against each other in one way or another before the pay per view, and then we're gonna have the match at the pay per view, and then we're gonna continue that after that. Same old stuff. Makes no sense. So I've gone through most of what I wanted to on this one. I don't really want to, since I was gonna do a co-branded, I guess you can say, like Raw and SmackDown review this week, but this Raw just had me so like amped up. No pun intended from the BC Amplified guy on YouTube that I mentioned earlier. But this Raw just kind of grinded my gears, so to speak, and I wanted to do a separate one just for that. Now, this is probably going to be the only podcast that I put out this week. If you want to go check out my last podcast that I did, I know if you guys don't want to click it, I don't give a fuck, cause I just do this for myself. Like I want to go back in time. Like if this, I'm gonna do this for a year. This whole podcast stuff with me. I want to do this for a year, and then like if it doesn't work out, then I'll stop. But at least for myself, I'll go back in time and be like, oh, that's what I thought about certain topics in wrestling, or that's what I thought about this guy at this time. That's interesting, right? Now, if I get some subscribers and some followings, then I'll continue to do it. But for now, I'm just kind of doing it for my own sake to be like, what was I thinking about at this time or whatnot? What did I think about this feud at this time? And I just want to go back in time in a year. If I do get followers, subscribers, all that, then I'll keep going, keep putting up podcasts. But like I was saying, if you want to go back to my last podcast, I'll try to put it up on the screen at the end for you guys to go check it out. But I just ran down the entire roster in that podcast. I just gave you my thoughts and opinions on what they were doing, what WWE was doing with each and every single person. Probably, yeah, for the most part, each and every single member on the Raw and SmackDown roster, and how I felt about what they were doing with them. So if you want to go check that out, please go do so. Help me out. And subscribe, like, comment some stuff that you think about the current product. Have any questions for me? Leave them down in the comments. Maybe I can help you see things more clearly, or you guys could help me see things more clearly by leaving a comment, right? So yeah, WrestleMania 35, we're gonna all be watching, but like I said, boycott this Monday Night Raw. Go on Twitter, spread the word. Just give them a low rating for the go home show to WrestleMania. They're gonna have a large amount of people watching, But if we take a chunk of that rating away, that would be a big win for us, I guess. It's not a lot, like I said, because ratings, they don't really care about ratings, I'm guessing. But it's something, right? It did something last time when we did Boycott Raw. The viewership went down to like 1.9, or the rating went down to 1.9. If we can get this, like, it should be around the 3.0, 2 point, it should be like from 2.7 to 3.0 this week, right? But with Boycott Raw, let's get it down to like 2.5 or less. If we can get it to 2.5 or less, that will be a huge win for the people that want to see change in wrestling, in WWE. Because what they're giving us on Raw is just unacceptable. We want to see this for entertainment purposes, but they're not giving it to us. They say they listen to the fans. I doubt that. We all know that's bullcrap. Let's call them out on it. They're a publicly traded company that need to start listening to their customers. So with that being said, I'll leave you guys at that. I'll probably be back next week for my WrestleMania 35 predictions. I want to see this product improve. So the more people that get on board with this Boycott Raw stuff, maybe we can make a little change again. So yeah, I'll be back next week. I'll put out some videos. If Fortnite has some crazy challenges this week for locations, I'll help you out. I'll help you guys out with those. But other than that, peace. I'm out.